Boxing Wiz, what's good? Boxing Wiz, what's good? Daniel Berry. Hit that thumbs up for you. Hit that thumbs up for you, boy, man. I was going to do this jump tomorrow, but I said I'd had this sitting up here all day, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and run it today. I'm gonna timestamp it. I'm gonna timestamp it today, though, right? Because I'm watching the games too. I'm gonna be on a little longer, or I may just go 30 minutes on here. I may just go 30 minutes on here, say what I gotta say, and then actually go live for the game tonight. Matter of fact, that's how we gonna do it. We'll do that, right? So I'm gonna give y'all three picks. No, I got the game going. No, I got the game going. What's good, Boxing Wiz? I'm gonna get you right, Boxing Wiz. One, two, three. We gonna go and get it right. So I'm actually gonna give y'all 5 picks here, right? I'm gonna give y'all some money line picks. I'm gonna tell y'all my method picks, but I don't know what the method picks gonna be worth just yet. Don't know what the method picks are worth just yet, right? Because we don't got value on it, but we do got the money line. We do got the money line odds, right? So that's what we gonna work off today. So I'm gonna give y'all two. I'm gonna give y'all two UFC money lines as well for that particular reason. Come on. I'm a timestamp. Move. I'm a timestamp this too. I'm gonna timestamp this too at the end, right? This video probably gonna be about 25, 30 minutes, right? But I'm gonna timestamp it at the end for the people, to skip the boring part, to skip the long part. Right. But I'm gonna give y'all 3 fights in here. We're gonna talk about Hrgovic versus, and the reason I'm doing these together for a reason. I'm gonna explain why I'm doing these together as I get into it, right? But I'm gonna give y'all Hrgovic versus David Allen. I'm gonna give y'all Brian Norman Jr. versus Josh Wagner, and I'm gonna give y'all Keyshawn Davis versus Nair Albright, right? Of the 3 fights that we're going to talk about, Keyshawn Davis versus Nair Albright, like betting wise, betting tip is probably the most profitable one. Right. Not right now on the money line, but I'm talking about as far as a method or whatnot, right? Because I'm thinking Hrgovic odds aren't going to be, the greatest for a stoppage because pretty much everybody's expecting him to get the stoppage. Right. Brian Norman stoppage, may not be worth a whole lot. But if you think Brian Norman might get to the points with Josh Wagner, then it may get interesting, right? Don't have numbers on these, right? We just speculating right now. All we have for sure is the money line odds, right? So that's what we're going to deal with, which is why I'm gonna give y'all 2 extra UFC picks on this video, right? So I'm gonna put it in the pin comment as well, right? So I'm gonna give out 3 boxing picks on here and 2 bonus UFC picks. You know what I mean? I address the title up a little later, right? Or I just put it in the pin, come in and say 2 extra UFC picks, right? We're gonna timestamp that as well. Boxing picks plus 2 extra UFC picks. I also did Detroit Pistons live on the live bet at plus 120. So I'm watching. That's why y'all see me keep looking over because I'm watching it as well, right? So sound check. Sound check. That's why y'all see me keep looking over because I'm watching it as well, right? Okay, yeah, bet. Pete Terrell, what's good, Pete Terrell, right? So what's good? Appreciate y'all sliding through, man. If y'all could hit that thumbs up for your boy, man. Whether you just passing through or making it do what it do. 6 people in the business. I got 9 likes. That's because y'all some freaky people. But it's okay, man. Ain't nothing wrong with being a freak. But y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy, man. 6 people in the live, 9 likes. only my people, right? Of course, my people. Only my people, right? But I digress. So let's get to it, man. Where we gonna start it today? Let's start with Brian Norman Jr. and Josh Wagner, right? This, I guess you could consider a step down. I wouldn't say could. This is a step down, right? If you're comparing him to Devin Haney, right? Would you consider this being along the lines of the level of Jin Sasaki? I'm staying away till I'm staying away still, man. It's a shock fight. And this would you can boxing with is crazy. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, the Zuffa card did me right yesterday. The Saturday card kind of messed me up a little bit with David Morrell. Right, but the Zuffa card got me right. The Zuffa card did get me right. Zuffa card got me right, so I was able to counter after the Zuffa card. You know what I mean? But yeah, Morrell most definitely pissed me off, but I was able to fix up. We was able to fix all that on the Zuffa card. I ain't try to get my blunt in here. In my mind, I had it a little lower so y'all couldn't see the weed. But I digress, right? So let's go ahead and get into it, man. We'll start with Brian Norman Jr. and Josh Wagner, right? So Josh Wagner is a guy. Uh, I wouldn't consider Josh Wagner a puncher, but I necessarily wouldn't consider him like a pure boxer either. He's a nice blend, you know what I mean, of both. He's a blend kind of fighter. He said, I'm about to throw 100 on all dogs next Uber car, see what happens. Yeah, man, that's pretty much like I lived like beforehand. Like if y'all heard my breakdown, like go back and check out my breakdown on the Zuffa card, right, bro? I picked mostly dogs when I broke the card down. It's still up there. It's 6 hours long. I broke the fights down on that live stream. You go back through. I picked mostly dogs, and most of them came through. Even the favorites I said will win. I said, y'all, Valoria still, he might lose, or himself. So still put a little something on him. The Zuffa card saved me, right? The Zuffa card saved me. David Morrell fucked up my Saturday, and then the Zuffa card got me back right now. I go hold you, man. So shout out to Zuffa. Appreciate you, Zuffa. Shout out to Zuffa. But yeah, man, the Zuko card got me right. I'm about to go put some water in my ice water. I be putting purified water inside of my purified water when it's ice in the middle. I like my water cold. Y'all give me 1 second, and then we gonna get into the fight. Pretty much, y'all. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I took all the favors, y'all. I took all the favors. I'm basically gonna tell y'all the method, and then I'm finna give y'all a plus money parlay with the 2 UFC fights. Y'all hold on for it. Move, 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 move. All right, I'm back, y'all. But yeah, y'all hit that thumbs up, man. Y'all hit that thumbs. Let's go and get into it, man. So Brian Norman Jr., Josh Wagner. Uh, okay, y'all know I'm going Brian Norman Jr. Right there, no. See, I'm going Brian Norman Jr. and I'm going Brian Norman Jr. knockout. Brian Norman Jr. is minus 2,000. I'm not gonna hold y'all. The the value is probably going to be Brian Norman Jr. on the points. Hopefully, I'm completely wrong, and when these odds drop, the value is with Brian Norman Jr. by knockout. But I'm gonna take Brian Norman Jr. By KO. Josh Wagner is a guy. I think that what's the good way? He's not a power puncher, but he's also not a pure boxer. He's kind of like that tweener, right? He's not great at anything, right? But he's not terrible at anything either, right? He's like average at just about anything, right? Brian Norman, I think, is going to have an athletic advantage. Brian Norman is going to have a power advantage, right? Brian Norman just got out of the ring, with Devin Haney, right? So he's going to have the, higher experience. He's going to have the higher level of experience opponent's edge on him as well. All right. Josh Wagner, I think in this fight, Josh Wagner is going to want to have to outbox Brian Norman, and after him getting out of the ring with Devin Haney, is going to be, it's going to be hard to show him something that he hadn't seen as far as the boxing go. Right. So I don't think Josh Wagner be able to outbox Brian Norman, which is going to lead to Brian Norman eventually, you know what I mean, getting that stoppage on Josh Wagner. I don't think it's going to happen earlier, right? I think it'll be a later knockout. I'm going Brian Norman late round stoppage. So Brian Norman 7 through 12 may be something that you want to look at. There is a chance that he could catch Josh Wagner before the 7, right? But I'm thinking with Josh Wagner's him being the vet that he is, him being not the vet, right? But him being as gritty as he is, right? He'll find a way to extend this fight a little bit longer, right? So I think Brian Norman is probably gonna get him out of there later rather than earlier. So Brian Norman 7 through 12 knockout for your value if you're looking for some value, but Brian Norman most definitely for the KO. In the next fight we got we'll talk about who we gonna talk about last on this EP. We got Hrgovic on here, Brian Norman on here, Keyshawn Albright. Let's go Hrgovic and David Allen, right? So we got Hrgovic versus David Allen. I think David Allen is more tough than he is skilled. I think David Allen is more entertaining in most of these fights than he is a serious contender to actually win a lot of these fights. I feel like the A side in this is Hrgovic. Hrgovic is the fighter that they want to see win in this, right? So they're going to be favoring Hrgovic. Hrgovic is a big favorite, minus 800, right? Type not quite as big as Brian Norman Jr., but big favorite still nonetheless, right at minus 800. So he is the favorite in this fight. I will favor him as well, and I am going to take him to beat David Allen. The thing is Hrgovic going to come in shape enough to be able to stop David Allen? And how good of a shape is David Allen going to come in? How much pushback will he give Hrgovic? Because David Allen is one of those guys that if you start to gas on him, he can't. Let's go. He can put his output on you, right? Get himself back in fights and sometimes even steal victories in those fights, right? So David Allen isn't good at anything, right? But if he can get himself late into a fight, he could, if he could stretch fights out, then sometimes on the back end he can kind of come back. That's if the opponent has gassed himself out from punching on David Allen. Not because David Allen has some tremendous gas tank or win, because he doesn't, right? I don't think Hrgovic is going to gas out in this. I don't think he's going to have to. I think he'll be able to control David Allen with his range, right? And I think he'll be able to land on David Allen pretty much when he wants to. David Allen is going to want to smother Hrgovic constantly, make him uncomfortable. I think he's going to tire himself out trying to do that, right? And Hrgovic would eventually land his knockout as well. Now, I have in the past lost betting on Hrgovic's knockouts, and he didn't get it, right? So I'm a little skeptical about that, right? But I'm gonna blend a little bit of David Allen crumbling and with Hrgovic getting this knockout. And I'm gonna say Hrgovic does get this knockout, but I do think this knockout is going to come later rather than earlier as well, right? So I'm thinking Hrgovic 7 through 12 knockout as well, for some value. So I've called 2 knockouts on this card so far. I've got Brian Norman Jr. for the knockout. I've got Flip Hrgovic or Hrgovic, right, for the knockout, however you want to see it. I got both guys with a knockout. I think it's later rather than earlier, right? Let's get into this main event. What y'all think I'm about to call in this main event? What y'all think I'm about to call in this main event if I didn't call 2 late stoppages already? Spoiler alert, I'm going late stoppage. Keyshawn Davis over Nair Albright. Southern T, why you going knockout when Keyshawn was in this fight last time and you win 12, right? Nair Albright never been knocked out, right? Well, I'm going to start with this, right? Frank Martin was able to buzz Nair Albright. He was able to hurt Nair Albright. If he didn't drop Nair Albright, I think they should have counted it as a knockdown because he had Nair Albright on the ropes at one point, right? But he did hurt Nair Albright. Nair Albright hurt him as well. Keyshawn Davis has been in the ring with Nair Albright at this point, so he knows what to expect this time around. And the fact that I saw Nair Albright get hurt and get buzzed, the fact that I saw Nair Albright get hurt and get buzzed in his last fight On top of the fact that Keyshawn has experience with him in the ring already, and Keyshawn is coming off a fight where he had to dig down late, deep, and knock out Jermaine Ortiz. Right, Jermaine Ortiz. Of there was a war of will in that fight with Jermaine Ortiz. He had to work Jermaine Ortiz down and find that stoppage, and he did end up finding it in the last round. Do I think it takes him 12 rounds to knock Nair Albright out? I'm not sure, but I do think it's a later knockout rather than an earlier knockout as well. So I do have Keyshawn Davis knocking out Nair Albright as well, 7 through 12, right? So I got all three of the favorites winning their fights by knockout, and I think they all win in the later stages of the fight, 7 through 12. So 7 through 12 is where we're going to find our value as far as the method knockout, each method, right? And I picked Brian Norman, Keyshawn Davis, and Phil Hrgovic to win their respective fights, right? Now, while on the money line, if you put those together right now, because we don't have methods, it'll only get you to around minus 300, right? And there's nothing we can really do with a minus 300, right? So I'm going to give y'all two UFC picks in addition to this weekend, right? I'm going to give you the main event pick, and I'm going to give you a prelim pick as well. I think it's a prelim pick, but either way, I'm about to give y'all two UFC picks as well that I'm confident in, right? We're going to go Andre Petrosky to beat Cody Brundage, right? I think Andre Petrosky is just a better athlete. I think he's actually the better wrestler. Cody Brundage likes to wrestle. I think he's the more powerful striker, right? Cody Brundage isn't really that good of a fighter, right? Petrosky has some ability. He has some physical advantages and athletic advantage, right? A wrestling advantage. I think he has a power advantage. He has a lot of advantages pointing in his favor. So I'm going to go Cody Brundage for the win. I'm going to go Andre Petrosky for the win over Cody Brundage as one of the locks. He's minus 118. Then we're going to go down to the main event. We're going to go down to the main event this weekend for the UFC. Arnold Allen versus Mosquera Costa. And I'm going to go Andre Allen for the win. I think Andre Allen is able to mix it up on Costa, whether they're striking, whether that's the takedown, right? I think he's a little better, with the wrestling. The striking maybe wasn't wet, but I think he's the better physical athlete. So I think he'll be able to counter impose his will a little bit on Costa. We've seen Costa overwhelm. Costa may be better, maybe at submissions, but I think grappling wise, Allen actually may be a little better, even though Allen falls in love, with his striking a lot. I have seen him, get on the ground and wrestle, you know what I mean, with guys. Even if it's a striking match, it could get interesting. Right? I don't think it's going to be a landslide victory for either person. Maybe you'll go with the over, right? Matter of fact, the over is 4.5. I think the over will suffice as well, right? On the Allen money line or the over. Matter of fact, we'll say the over for show purposes, right? It's better odds as well. The over is minus 166. On the Allen is minus 192 because I do think this fight goes to the cards either way, right? So we'll go Andre Petrosky money line over Cody Brundage, and we'll go the over in Arnold Allen versus Mosquera Costa, right? So five picks for you on this EP, 3 boxing fights, 2 UFC fights. I'm going to timestamp this at the end so y'all can see it. Actually, if I do it within 25 minutes, I probably wouldn't have to timestamp it, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end this video before the 25 minutes is up. It's 5 people in here right now. I am coming back for the OKC versus LA game, right? Detroit standing on business right now, making me proud. I am coming back for the Detroit Lake game a little later, right? So do anybody have any questions before we get up out of here? I'm gonna use these last 4 to 5 minutes for open questions about anything. Do anybody have any questions about anything? I see my guy Boxing Wed said he just retired from sports betting. it gets you like it get to that sometimes. David Morrell pissed a lot of people off. I know. David Morrell pissed a lot of people off this weekend, man, myself included. Myself included, man. But I was able to counter save the weekend. I was able to save the weekend with the Zuffa boxing card, man. So shout out to Zuffa boxing card, right? So I'm not gonna have to timestamp this, right? Because I'm just gonna end this thing in 25 minutes. Y'all just gonna have to listen to the 25 minutes because if you can't listen for 25 minutes for 3 fights, then I don't know what to tell you. If I give you 3 fights in less than 30 minutes, pretend it's a 10-minute video and listen to that thing. But I digress. I don't want to smoke on this uh screen in particular. I'm doing some of I'm messing with the algorithm right now, y'all. I'm trying to see if I curse a little less, if I smoke a little less on camera, you know, will the algorithm push me through a little deeper. I noticed that it has worked a little bit, right? So I'm gonna continue to do this to see exactly how it's working, right? Gotta clean up the channel a little bit. I'm gonna see exactly how it worked, right? How it worked out with me on the streams that I'm keeping, right? On the streams that I plan to keep, right? Let me see. Somebody said something in the chat. Said Morel was a good pick. He just from, but there's probably good picks coming this week too. Yeah. I'm pretty sure like some of the undercards, right? Some of the undercard picks, like the main events this week, right? The major cards not really like as far as value wise, right? They're not really hidden like the ones last week was hidden. It's a lot of like minus 2000s and things like that, right? But once we get those undercard, those undercard odds to start to drop and whatnot, I think that's where we'll find. I think that's where we're going to find our value. I think that's where we gonna find our value at this week though, with those with the undercard picks. But after I get off here, I am coming back live, right? We gonna come back live for NBA night. We go chill, kick it, and whatnot. I just wanted to go ahead and get this video out. But I knew if I didn't go ahead and do this video, I probably won't go do it tomorrow. So matter of fact, let's timestamp it. I am gonna timestamp it, right? We go timestamp it at 25 minutes, and we gonna end it before the 25 minutes is up, so we can get that right. So we gonna timestamp it at 25. I'm gonna give y'all my fight picks and my 2 extra UFC picks as well. Right. So all right, y'all. For timestamp purpose, for the people who go skip the boring part, we're going to go Brian Norman knockout 7 through 12. Hrgovic knockout 7 through 12. Keyshawn Davis knockout 7 through 12. I think each fighter wins on the money line, right? And if you're going to go all money lines, I'm about to give you 2 extra UFC picks to take to the bank with you. We're going to go Andre Petrowski to beat Cody Burgess on the money line. And we're going to skip all the way down to the main event. And we're going to go Allen and Costa to go over 4.5 rounds. You put all of those together, it gets you the plus 210. That's all I got for y'all, man. Skin Hardaway, Southern T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. This the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love. Make sure you subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell a friend.